Hello, welcome to Hands-on Art at Home. Just because lockdown is nearly over doesn't mean we're going to stop sharing stories with you. And in fact, this Sunday is such a special day that we really couldn't resist. Our story for this Sunday, this week, is Daddy is My Hero. And it was written by Dawn Richards and illustrated by Jane Massey. Here we are. Here is the little person and their daddy. Look at this wonderful big star that he's got on his shirt. I think that has the number 1 on it because he's a number 1 dad. So we find out what these two get up to. Well, now let's have a look at the first page. What have we got here? Well, we have got what looks to me like a dressing up box. There are all sorts of costumes peeking out of there. I wonder which one this little boy has chosen for his daddy. His daddy is sitting out on the chair, reading a newspaper, just chilling out, minding his own business, but his little boy wants to play. My daddy looks quite normal. No different from the rest, says the little boy. But my daddy is a hero, the greatest dad, the best. Look at them go. Daddy's got his cape and his gloves, and off they go flying so high that they're going through the clouds and over all the buildings. My goodness. I wonder which costume they'll get out of the costume box next. Oh, there's a little clue on this page. There's a dragon. Which costume do you think you might need to fight a dragon? Well, here's Daddy. There he is with his suit of shining armor and a shield to protect both of them from the fire-breathing dragon. My daddy is a knight of old, says the little boy. He's always on a quest. He battles greedy dragons and saves people in distress. There they are, hiding in their castle at the top of the hill. We've got a castle in our town, Windsor. It's a bit bigger than that one. I wonder what costume they'll come up with next. Can you think of any? What would you like to dress up as if you could pick anything at all? I wonder if it would be a pirate on a desert island. Oh, my daddy is a captain. He is all dressed up in his finery. He's got his uniform on and his special hat. Oh, goodness me, shiny buttons on his cuffs. My daddy is a captain. He sails across the sea, and when I'm caught by pirates, he's there to rescue me. So he's all dressed up in his captain uniform, and look, we've got 3 pirates on the beach. Oh, they're not too thrilled about the rescue, are they? But look at those amazing costumes. We've got headscarves, a bit like mine. We've got a skull and crossbones hat. We've got jackets and coats. We've got stripy shirts. Oh my goodness. And this poor chap has only got 1 leg. Wow. Oh, it's Daddy and me time. I know my daddy loves me. I know he's always there. I know he's there to hug me, look after me, and care. Oh, look, they're having a cuddle. That's what dads are best at. I think, though, that after the cuddle, there's more dressing up to do. What could he possibly be this time? Well, my daddy flies a spaceship. He zooms among the stars. He scares away the aliens. Look, there's 2 of them. One here and one here in their little spaceships. From Jupiter, And Mars. I wonder which one is from Jupiter and which one is from Mars. What do you think? I wonder if you know the colours of the planets and if that would be a clue. They've got a glorious rocket ship here. Look at the fire coming out of the back. It's a fantastic red colour. And here's Daddy with his aeronaut costume on. He's very good at playing this dressing up game, isn't he? Oh my word. Wow. My Daddy is a wizard. They've pulled the wizard's hat out of the treasure chest of all of those costumes, and he's got a wonderful cloak as well, covered in stars and moons, all those magical symbols. But what are they doing? And who are these? Well, my Daddy is a wizard. He knows all sorts of spells. Ah, that's what the book is. It's a book of spells. And with the spells, he calms the wild monsters with the stories that he tells. Wonderful. Spells and stories and monsters. They do look like quite cuddly monsters though, don't they? We've got an orange fluffy one and a green fluffy one and a little red fluffy one. 3 monsters, all fast asleep because Daddy told such a wonderful story. My Daddy looks quite normal, no different from the rest. But Daddy is my hero, the greatest dad, the best. So you can see why I just had to share that story with you on Father's Day. It is absolutely wonderful. I just love that Daddy was so keen to get involved, and it didn't matter which costume his little boy pulled out of the treasure chest, off they went on another adventure. We do love having adventures at Hands on Art, don't we? It's actually in our name here in Old Windsor at the studio, where we love to do some painting. And of course, that's what we always follow our story with, a painting activity. So we're going to need to get all of our equipment ready. We're going to need some big fluffy brushes and some paper and a cloth to clean our hands with, because you know what we're like, we always use our hands. Although sometimes recently we've been using our feet as well. And of course it could be that you might like to come along to the studio when we reopen very soon in just a few weeks and do some painting with me in person, and that would just be wonderful. If you live too far away though, then we can keep sharing some stories and doing our painting like that together, can't we? Okay, I'm going to put a little list up on the screen to remind you of all the equipment that you need for this week's painting activity, and you can rush off and get everything ready. Okay? Off you go. Welcome back. Now, do you have all the equipment that you need ready for a painting activity? We need some paper and brushes and maybe a water pot and a cloth to clean our hands. But the thing that you're probably wondering the most is, well, which paint colours do we need this week? What could we possibly be painting to celebrate Father's Day? Well, I thought that the Daddy in this week's story was such a hero that he deserved a trophy ready to say thank you for all the adventures that he's shared. So to paint a trophy, we're going to need yellow, maybe a little bit of orange and red as well, just to change the shades and tones a little bit and make the yellow even brighter and stronger. Now, for this week, I'm also going to need to take my piece of paper off the easel and bring it a bit closer, because for this week, not only am I going to be painting my hand, but I'm going to need part of my arm as well for the stem of the trophy. Yeah, so I'm going to bring this a little bit closer and rest it on my lap so that I can press my hand down on here without knocking the easel over. But I wouldn't want to knock good old Artie Bear either. So, for my trophy, I am going to need lots and lots of yellow paint. So I've got my yellow and my orange and even some red ready on my palette here, and I always use a paper palette because I can spread the colours out and it makes clearing up so much easier. So I'm going to need yellow. I'm going to pop lots of yellow on my hand. Now, it's very difficult to see the yellow on my hand. It doesn't show up very well, but it will show up on the paper. I'm going to get lots and lots of yellow. Mustn't forget my fingers. Oh my goodness, it's a little bit runny. Must be because it's so warm today. It's actually stopped raining. And it's lovely and sunny outside now. I'm wondering if I might have a garden adventure when I finished my painting. What do you think? A lovely outside adventure once we've had our inside activity. Now then, that's going to be the bowl of the trophy, the bit that you can drink from, and then I'm going to put some paint coming all the way down my arm. When I say all the way, it's actually only going to come halfway down between my elbow and my hand. Goodness. This is new. I haven't done this before. Right, there we are. So I've got yellow paint all over my hand and down to here. Oh, I can see I've missed a little bit. And you know, I think it might be nice just to have some orange just coming around the edges, just so that we can see the edge of our shape. If we put colour, a slightly darker colour, slightly darker shade of yellow coming around here by mixing the orange in with it, it'll just make the bowl of the trophy stand out compared to the stem. So here we go. I'm going to press this down onto my paper. I'm going to press nice and hard, get all of those fingers squished down, and my wrist and a bit of my arm, and then I'm going to lift it off. And now I can show you. There we are. I think that's worked really well. So what I'm going to do now is give this a little clean, otherwise the paint's just going to go everywhere. It's always good to have a cloth handy. So you'll be used to that by now. So, let's have a little look at this. How are we going to turn it into more of a trophy shape? I'm going to turn it round a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I don't want to hide Artie. So, now then, I think we need to put a little bit more yellow just in the middle there because of my grown-up hand. It doesn't show up very well. In the middle. Can you see where the orange comes around the edge like this? And it just makes the bowl of the trophy stand out a little bit better and away from the stem. And I think we've got a little bit missing from the stem there as well. I'm just going to pop that in like that. Now, of course, the trophy needs something to be standing on, doesn't it? It needs a base. Now, do you know how many sides a rectangle has? Because I think a rectangle would look really good down here. So I'm going to paint the 4 sides of a rectangle. I need a long side, that's side number 1, and then 2 short sides, and then another, number 4, needs to go across the bottom. So we've got 4 sides to our rectangle. Can you see that? And then we can fill in the middle. And I think it might be nice to have a little bit more of that lovely orange colour to put around those 4 sides to make it stand out. There we are now. There's our 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. I could put a little bit more orange paint up here as well, just to emphasize that bowl shape. Now the other thing that a trophy has is handles, so that we can pick it up. So we would need to draw 2 semicircles coming around here like this, if you want to, or you could just leave it like that. I think it looks just like a trophy, just like that myself. Now, in the story, Daddy was wearing a star, and it has the number 1 on it because he's number 1 dad. So I think it might be quite nice on our trophy here to put the number 1 right in the middle of that handprint, which does look a little bit like a star. If you were to put your hand going the other way, then with the yellow paint as well, then it would look like a star. So I'm going to use some blue paint because I like to use colours. Black's a little bit dry, so I'm going to give my bottle a bit of a shake, just in case it's separated out a little bit. Doesn't that make a great noise? So let's pour some blue paint out. And I'm going to put a lovely number 1 right in the middle of the handprint. So it's going to go from top to bottom. It's going to go straight down like that. And it looks a little bit like the trophy because it has a base that goes across, and then it has a little nose. Number 1. And of course the trophy is for Daddy. So we need to put the letters D down here so that he knows it's absolutely definitely a prize for him for being so wonderful. So here we go. So we've got there. I'm going to do capitals so that it stands out really well. So here we go. So we need from top to bottom a line, and then we go around in a semicircle. And then the letter A, capital A, looks like a triangle with a bar across the middle. So we're going to go out like that, and out like that, 2 diagonal lines, and 1 across the middle. There's the letter A. And finally, we need another D. Another D to end down. So we're going to come straight down and a semicircle going around. And there we have it. A trophy for our number 1 dad. Oh, wonderful. I think he's going to love it. Now, of course, you could put some stars going all the way around it because he's a superstar as well. You could even draw some of the superhero costumes that we had. Some of the symbols, maybe the wizard's hat, maybe the knight in shining armor, maybe his helmet, maybe a pirate's sword. There's all sorts of things that you could add to this to show that Dad is a superstar. I think it's just great. And I would really love to see your trophies because we haven't done this one before and it would be really, really cool. Perhaps Mummy or Daddy could send me your photos of you painting a trophy for your dad, and you know what? You could even paint one for Mum as well, or Grandad. Why should they miss out? I think that would be really super. Of course, if you would like to paint a real trophy, then you could come along to our studio and you could paint one with us. And we can fire it for you with our very, very special glazes, because then you could actually drink from it, which is also really cool. I'll put some pictures of those up in just a moment for you to have a look at. I have thoroughly enjoyed our story today, and I would love to see you again another time, either here on our YouTube channel or at our studio in Old Windsor. I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.